Louisiana Free Patriot here again. A lot of things going on real fast. New infrastructure bill with taxes that'll affect everybody. They want to install within 3 years, install breathalyzers in every vehicle. Not just new, every vehicle. They want to institute a tax on miles driven. And to do that, they would have to install a tracking device in every car. Then they're pushing the mask mandates again, vaccine passports, doctors, nurses, and people all over the country in different walks of life and different industries are being fired or forced into retirement because they refuse to get the vaccine. We've got a lot going on. And today, I heard that the Secretary of State has invited UN troops onto U.S. soil. Now, I'd already been doing a little bit of research on that. We have UN troops in all but 2 states. I can't remember which 2 they are. I think one of them is Alabama. No, Arkansas. I think it's Arkansas. But you got UN troops everywhere. Got a report maybe a week ago, I think it was, I saw. And I don't know how much truth is to it, but the scuttlebutt says he was drunk in between the lockdowns at a music event, and he was drunk and saying how much he loved America, how much he loved the people and everything that is American, and that he had to tell somebody that they are here primarily to disarm the American people, that they have a list of names and addresses to start with. And then today, I saw an article, I'm probably a few days late on seeing it, that the Secretary of State invited the UN into the United States to help combat racism and xenophobia and transphobia and all of this other phobias that primarily does not exist in the United States. My personal opinion, I think they're going to come in under the guise of racism, that they're going to paint all patriots as racist extremists, and thus, as peacekeepers, they're going to come and detain us. This is my personal opinion. New legislation put into up for vote, up to council and all that stuff up there. I'm sure you heard of it, where they want to make every semi-automatic weapon that has a detachable magazine a NFA item, from 25s all the way up to 50 cals. There's no calibers, there's no center fire, no rim fire specifications, all firearms. The media and the government are pushing a hard narrative to dehumanize patriots and those who refuse the mask mandates and the vaccine, making us appear to everybody else out there as less than human, so that when bad things happen to us, it's our fault. We deserved it. Remember, it was 3% of the colonists that took on the strongest military force in the world. And now I'm having trouble getting my stuff up here. Oh, here we go. If you remember, for those of you who don't, Bill of Rights. It states, governments are instituted amongst men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall most likely to effect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same objective, advances a design to reduce them under absolute disposition, it is their right, it is their duty to overthrow such government and to provide new guards for their future security. In my opinion, we have, as a nation, been suffering. And we have endured the evils while they are sufferable. But now they are becoming insufferable. They are attacking everything that is American. Hell, I just found out today that an elementary school principal, I've forgotten what state it was, decided she was going to segregate their school. Put white kids in white classes and black kids in black classes. We're going freaking backwards. CRT being forced in our schools and everything else going on. It's freaking insane. Those that were the victims of racism and hatred for generations, those that were slaves, are now putting themselves back into bondage willingly. The racists sold racism to the victims. This is insane. They're attacking our Bill of Rights, our Constitution. They're making a mockery of it. Attacking our First Amendment, our Second Amendment, our Fourth Amendment, with a new Apple update that's coming out, where they can go in there and they're going to go in under the guise of looking for child pornography. But it's been leaked that if they see anything they deem threatening, it'll be reported to the government. Private texts, photos, you name it. There was nothing safe by anything Apple. Your Mac computers, your tablets, your iPhones, they're all under the eye of Big Brother, more so now than ever. And a lot of people out there don't understand the Second Amendment. And our government, those in power, our governmental framework is the best in the world. We've just allowed those who are power hungry and totalitarian to rise in power when we shouldn't have. We have been asleep for far too long. They say, Joe Biden and many of them say that the amendments are not absolute. But there's a correction to that, Mr. Biden. The Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, were written as absolutes, with the strongest wording in the Second Amendment. And I know all of you know this, but I'm going to read it anyway. The Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The Second Amendment has the strongest wording, and by the use of the word infringed, makes it an absolute. The definition of infringed, people always focus on the first definition. Actively break the terms of a law, agreement, etc. They forget about the second definition. Act so as to limit or undermine something, encroach on. Every gun law is an encroachment on the Second Amendment. They all limit or undermine the Second Amendment. So by them using the word infringe, it makes the Second Amendment an absolute, stronger than any of the other amendments. Because the Second Amendment was put in place to protect all of the Constitution and our great nation. We are a beacon of light and hope to the world. And right now that light is fading fast. The world is looking to the people of America to stand up. We don't have to be violent. We can be, but we don't have to be. Everybody wants to go out there and say, somebody's got to do something. Somebody's got to do something. You have to do something. You have to make a stand. Peaceful non-compliance to start with. They're going to threaten our jobs. They are going to take our jobs. I've already told my employer to fire me. If they impose a vaccine mandate at my job, I told them to fire me. I told them that when the vaccines first come out, fire me. I will not take it. but I want on my pink slip. Reason for termination, failure to take COVID vaccine. I want that in writing. Not failure to comply with company policy. I want failure to take COVID vaccine. They're coming for us. They're going to. I was watching Patriot Nurse earlier, and she had a great video on it, on all of this. This is basically siege warfare. They're going to try to, what the first thing that they did was they tried to butter us up, give us incentive to get the vaccine, give us, say we're a stronghold and we're trying to be invaded. A siege is being laid upon our city. They offer you things for you to surrender, to let them in. So, the vaccine lotteries, trips, cash, this, that, whatever, so that you'll take the vaccine willingly. That's not working so well. So now they're going to a mandate where they're demanding for us to let them in to our castle, for us to surrender under threat of force. That doesn't work. Then they're going to put regulations to where we can't go anywhere. We can't shop, in which they're doing now, where we can't go shopping. We can't go to the movies. We can't have any kind of life. We can't work. We can't provide for ourselves, which is an attack on our God-given rights for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They are infringing on all our rights. They are set to destroy us and to destroy this nation. A lot of people have forgotten about the Great Reset and the New World Order. This is all part of it. This is smoke and mirrors. Everybody's worried about the vaccine and the shots and the COVID. They have forgotten all about the Great Reset, what was stated, what was going on, and all the uproar right before COVID struck. Wonderful timing. You know how they always sleight of hands. Look over here while I'm doing something more devious behind your back. I agree with Senator Rand Paul. We have to fight back. And we will do this peacefully until they make us become forceful. They're going to push us into a World War III. If UN soldiers start moving on U.S. soil in a military or police action status for security reasons and public safety, there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of patriots out there that will only see blue targets. And we'll see that as an act of invasion of a foreign military force on U.S. soil. Many, if not most of us, have sworn an oath to defend the Constitution against enemies foreign and domestic. There is no expiration date on that oath. And I will honor that oath with my last dying breath. And for those in the government that think I'm playing, try me. I know you're watching. I don't want to be violent. I want things to be peaceful. But if you bring it there, I will be there. I want this to be resolved as peacefully as possible because I am a peaceful man. I am not a harmless man, though. And you know it. From your interviews, from your FBI agents you've sent to interview me and to question me and try to make me an informant. And what I tell you to do your damn jobs. Go after Joe Biden, who is breaking laws right out the bat. Go after his son, breaking laws right off the bat. Go after Hillary Clinton, breaking laws right out there, publicly, openly. Go out against the Clintons. We've got terrorists in Congress. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, all backing our enemies, those who want to destroy America. You got Kamala Harris giving aid to active insurrectionists and terrorists, BLM and Antifa, by paying their bail, which is a violation of federal law, which would pull you from your seat if our federal government, our federal law enforcement and DOJ did their damn jobs. I'm mad, but I'm not scared, because there are hundreds of thousands and millions of Americans like me that I know I will not go alone if it comes down to it. And when I fight, it will not be for in vain, because I'm fighting for my nation, for the people. I don't want to do it, so don't make me. I call for all patriots to stand in peaceful civil disobedience. I no longer give my consent to the United States government. I withdraw my consent. Because the government can only govern by the consent of those that they are govern over. It's time for us to stand, people. I'll be planning a rally or a protest shortly. I've got to get some things worked out and figured out. Share this video out there if y'all stayed around this long. Get it out there. Share it. This won't last on Facebook. It'll get blocked quick. So get it out whichever way you can. It's probably not going to last on YouTube. But we've got to stand together. Because as the saying goes, united we stand, divided we fall. This is something that affects all Americans. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what economic class you are, whether you're Republican or Democrat. This affects all of us. And either the government can back off and do the job that they swore an oath to do. And everything becomes peaceful again. And we can live our lives like normal people. Or they push us into a war with our own brothers and sisters. The choice is theirs. None of us true patriots want to fight. We do not want to shed blood. We do not want to cause harm or wish harm on anyone. Might like them to get locked up and spend some time in Leavenworth or in Guantanamo Bay, but we don't want violence upon anyone. And we want everybody to have their day in a court of law. To follow the Constitution and the rules and regulations set by the Constitution. We want the government to do its job as is prescribed by the Constitution and not sidestep it and do things to get around it to try to achieve your underhanded, dirty, sneaky little things you do to gain and keep control over the American people. Like the ways you set up the American people to fight against each other so that we can't come together to stand up against you. Let my voice be the voice that pulls people together. If not mine, let someone else's. Patriot Nurse, Bear Independent, Guns and Gadgets. There's hundreds of great channels out there and great spokesmen and women out there. And they're working. We're working to try to do something. But we need the people to stand up and say, it is enough. It is time that we stop letting the government control us. The evils are no longer sufferable, and they need to stop. And only we can do it. The government's not going to do it. They've rigged the elections. Got the soapbox, which I'm on right now. The ballot box, which they've rigged. And then you got the ammo box. And they're trying to take away the soapbox right now, attacking our First Amendment rights. But not directly, mind you. They're circumventing it, letting the private industry do the work for them, which they control. They circumventing the Constitution. So, technically, they're not doing anything wrong. You know, like a lot of white-collar criminals do. Extortionists. Laundering. Insurance fraud. Try to find ways around where you can do what you want to do without technically breaking the law. We see it, and we're fed up with it, or at least I am. And I am but one man. You like what I'm saying? Give me the thumbs up. Share this out there. God bless every one of you. I'm new to this, still trying to figure out the little format. I have no computer skills whatsoever. So, Louisiana, free patriot. God bless every one of you. God bless these United States of America. Good night and good luck.
Just sit right here, drink a beer while they get off. Just as soon as the rest wake up, we'll go kick down the devil's walls. It's time to tear up the lies of the enemy. We set the record straight. We don't do it now, we might never get the chance, and it'll be too late. Don't matter about the color of the skin.